series, my review for Legend of Korra, Season 3, Episode 12, titled Enter the Void. Now, this is an hour-part special. There's 2 episodes in this. Now, the reason why I'm not reviewing this episode, or these episodes as a whole in one video, is because if I were to review these episodes as a whole in one video, it'll probably be as long as the episode itself, because I have quite a lot of things to say about these episodes here. So yeah, also no summarization for these reviews as well. I'm just going to get into the nitty-gritty of things. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. Alright, so the first thing I want to talk about is Pioli. So the only thing we'll ever get to know about Pioli is that when she was younger, some people were trying to make her into a war machine, a monster in a sense, and Zaheer saved her from that, which kind of granted her freedom there. It kind of sucks that later that she dies by basically blowing herself up because Suyin put her body armor on top of her head, which, you know, question ability, boom, bow, yeah, it was bad. It was bad. It was so bad. This death was so bad that they couldn't even show it. They couldn't even put the sound effect in there. Like, we didn't hear no explosion, no nothing. It's just like, boom on her head, you know it's about to blow up, and that's it. So yeah, she had a pretty gruesome end. I guess she wasn't ahead of the game. Seems like no one gave her the heads up about what's about to happen to her. I got a headache making these terrible jokes. I'm sorry. I'm terrible. Please forgive me. Please forgive me. So my question now is, seeing how this ended, will we get to see more of the combustion benders? Because, I mean, I'm sure there's probably more of these benders out here. Not to mention, will we get to learn more about them, like where they're from? And not to mention, when it comes to Pioli, who was the person trying to use their power at that time? I'm very curious. Honestly, these are a lot of questions that need to be answered, because a lot of things are unknown when it comes to these combustion benders. And I hope that they address this in Season 4. You know, Pioli is like a giant compared to Zaheer. I mean, I knew she was tall, but god dang, like, she's towering over that boy. And you really notice it when they actually stand next to each other, because, you know, they're having a little bit intimate moment and they end up kissing and everything. And I'm like, dang, she has to kneel down just to kiss you, boy. I guess here's into girls that can tower over him and dunk all over him. So the next thing I want to talk about is Meanwhile, because Meanwhile, she has an interesting ability. She can make, like, multiple water figures. It's like clones or something like that in a way. It's kind of cool, actually. I like how she did that. I was like, that was freaking impressive. That was pretty impressive. I love how she just tricked Mako, Bolin, and Asami that, oh, you got the freak airbenders? Nah, the water. Oh, by the way, Tenzin is alive, because when they go over there, when they're trying to actually pick up all the airbenders, you know, Tenzin's sitting there. So it kind of give it legitimacy that all the other airbenders could be there too. But, you know, again, water clones, baby. Tenzin is alive, by the way. He's not well, but he is alive. I told you guys they weren't going to kill this guy. I kept telling you guys, but you're like, nah, no. Goodbye, Tenzin. R.I.P. Tenzin. I'm like, nah, son. The dude's still alive. He's still well and kicking. Because the thing is, he isn't a person of interest to kill. Think about it. The group doesn't do senseless killing. They only kill to further their agenda if necessary. It's not necessary to kill him because he doesn't pose a big threat to the group. He's only a council member of a public city. He doesn't have any absolute power like the Earth Queen. All he can do is really present ideas, and other members of the council can agree or disagree. It's a democracy in Republic City. But at the same time, if you were thinking about it in that way, that because he's a part of the council, they would take him out because he is part of a government and is ruling over people. So, you know, seeing how the Red Lotus wants freedom, they would try to take out all the people that are associated and connected to government. So if you're thinking about it in that sense, then I guess you can argue the fact that they could kill him. They could kill him. But I think the other reason why they decided not to kill him either is because he's an airbender. And I feel as though Zaheer has a soft spot for airbenders. I don't think he really wants to kill any airbenders. Like, even when he captured all these airbenders and say, oh, we're gonna take out the airbenders, I don't think he really wanted to actually do that in the first place. That was just his talking point to get Korra over there. And Korra and gang are not gonna actually think twice about it because he killed the Earth Queen. So they know he's capable of killing somebody. But again, it was just all a front to just get to Korra. Because that's the thing, at the end of the day, the Red Lotus group is just not a pure evil kind of group. They have an agenda, they have a goal in mind of what they want to do. They want to have freedom. You know, people, they want the airbenders to have this kind of freedom. They want people out there and just living the way they want the world to be. Killing all these people isn't necessarily gonna achieve anything for them. So that's just really my outlook on the whole thing, which is why I didn't think Zaheer was going to even take out Tenzin. I will say again, no one's really wrong in thinking that if Tenzin was dead or if he was alive, because at the end of the day, like I was already saying, he's a part of a government and he's part of the council. So he should still be a person of interest to actually take out because he works for the government and they're trying to abolish that. That's what the Red Lotus is trying to do. So, again, no one's really wrong in thinking this, but luckily he's actually alive. Alright, so a fight breaks out. Korra is locked in chains while trying to fight Zaheer. Mako, Bolin, and Asami face off against Ghazan and Ming. Though Ghazan and Ming just end up escaping, and Ghazan burns down the building in the process. The whole temple, actually, not just the building, just the whole temple gets burned down completely. That was quite impressive. That was quite impressive. So this is kind of interesting. I kind of want to like bring this up, but in the fight with Gillian Lynne versus Pioli, Lynne wants to go ahead and sacrifice herself yet again. The reason why I say yet again is because if you remember in season 1 where Lynne had to fend off the airship and everything that's trying to go after Tenzin and his family and everything, and she's like, don't worry, I got this. She ends up getting captured, and that's how she also ends up losing her bending because the Mong ends up capturing her. So it's like her sacrificing herself. That's why I say it again, because this is not the first time. This is not the first time. But I like Lynne because she tends to go all in when she's in a battle. If you think Zaheer having the ability to basically take the air out of somebody's lungs, it's impressive. What he does in this episode is even more impressive. This guy somehow enters the void and he is able to fly with airbending. The dude is flying. Zaheer is freaking flying. Yes! Like, I love that. I love that. And the funny thing is, he's only the second airbender to ever be able to fly with that. But there's only one other airbender that was ever able to actually fly. And Zaheer is the second. Again, Zaheer is just so impressive. I don't know how he's just finding out all these abilities and just getting better and better. It's just, I want Tenzin to be able to do this too. I don't know. I want him to have these kind of abilities and just go in and stuff like that. I don't know. Like, God dang it, Zaheer. Just God dang it. Yeah. But alright, I have to say this. The fight scenes and everything that's been going on with this entire episode, we just need to take a moment and appreciate the animation, because the animation for this episode, even the next episode too, the last episode of the season, so good. Just so good. No, it only makes sense why it's so freaking good. When Tom Rock punched the ground with its ice blade thingy and it just shattered, the animation for that was just stunning. Like, I can't believe it. It's just, they really put their all when it comes to animation in this series. That's why I love the series animation so much. They do a good job. They do a really good job. Alright, okay, there's another talking point because this is really, really odd, and I'm wondering if anybody else notices. I'm hoping I'm not the only one that notices this crap, because this didn't make any freaking sense. This doesn't make any sense. Tom is facing off against Zaheer, and Zaheer pushes him off a cliff, but luckily this girl comes by and saves him. And I think he actually later says thank you to the girl, and we get her name. Her name is like Kavar or something like that. And I don't know, that scene was really, 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 really odd, because I mean, one, why we need to get her name? It's like, she don't seem like she's that, like, you would think she wouldn't be that important, but it's like, get her name and like zooms in on her face and she looked kind of creepy. I'm just saying, hopefully someone else noticed that, because I'm just like, you part Red Lotus, aren't you? Not to mention later on in the episode, she tries to actually ask to go, if she can go and help the team go get the airbenders back and all that stuff too. And I'm like, like all of a sudden you're trying to include yourself into the main cast. You important now, huh? And just what made it really odd is with the fact that she didn't do anything else in the episode, you know? It's just like, we had that moment, she wanted to go there, and she couldn't go, and that was just it. It's like, what was the purpose of that? So, she's gonna be a big factor in next season, I believe. So, I will look out for her, because again, I do believe she's a part of the Red Lotus. So, the next thing I want to talk about is Bolin. Bolin's episode. People are like, he ain't special. He ain't nothing. He ain't gonna get anything. He ain't metal bending. He ain't lava bending. He ain't nothing. But look now. Look now! Look now! Bolin is a freaking lava bender. The dude did it. The dude done did it. That's my boy. I am just so freaking glad to see him actually have something special. Whether it be metal bending or lava bending, I'm just glad to see him do something. I'm glad he can lava bend. It's very unique. He's the only other person besides Ghazan. Well, actually, he's going to be the only other person later on, because I'm happy with Ghazan. But it's just nice to see that he has a very unique ability that no one else has. So I'm glad to see that. Okay, question. Kai said that there are 4 other Red Lotus members that he saw that had the airbenders. But the thing here is, I feel like we haven't seen those 4 other members. Unless he was like talking about these just 4 nobody, I guess. Like, I think it's the way he just made it seem, it's like this might be his own other separate group within Red Lotus. Like, you know how Zaheer has his own little group of people. I'm believing that this might be another set of 4 other important benders or something that's a part of Red Lotus, which is what he saw. I don't think we have to see these Red Lotus members just yet. I believe they're going to play a factor maybe in next season or something like that. So I don't know. It's pretty interesting. I just want you to just think about that. I don't know if I'm overanalyzing it or overthinking this, but I feel as though there's more to what Kai just said there than it'd be like some random benders that we saw probably like the next episode, because like I said, there's other people there from what we saw. But I just feel like they're more important than that. But tell me, what do you guys think about this? By the way, that cave looks to be the same cave where Katara and Zuko were locked up in, so it's nice to see another, reoccurring place again. It's always nice to see that stuff, So Korra is locked up and she's about to get some poison in her. So yeah, it shows that they're trying to actually just kill her. So that was actually a shocker when I saw it. I was like, all right then. So this has been my review for this episode of Legend of Korra. Be sure to watch the next review, the last episode of the season, because I'll have more to say and this and that, the other thing. And yeah, just be sure to watch, people. So overall, this was a great episode. I like it a lot. The animation was just on freaking point. On freaking point. And like I said, this episode had a lot of talking points, a lot of things going on. So I like that too. So leave your comments below what you think. Like this review and subscribe to my channel if you want to see some more Legend of Korra reviews from me. So you guys have been the Thabreakmaster, and until then, people.